with news following Bad Blood and more. This is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Providing a health update on Drew McIntyre following his Hell in a Cell match against CM Punk, Ringside News noted that, according to PW Insider, McIntyre was banged up after the match, having suffered a legitimate head injury when CM Punk struck him with a metal toolbox during the heated confrontation. The impact left McIntyre bleeding heavily, and after the match, he required 16 staples to close the wound. After returning to WWE at Bad Blood, The Rock would go live on Instagram and said this.
Because right now, The Rock is feeling good. Right now, everybody at home who just witnessed the final boss come out is feeling good. Right now, the world is feeling good. Mana, the final boss. And here we go. This is how good. The final, god damn, that's good shit. The final boss is feeling. Music, the final boss. Here we go. The Rock, oh yeah. Easy top. It's going to be a party tonight just because that show is over. The party just began. The Rock got his People's Champ title. He's the final boss. And here's the thing. End of the day. There ain't nothing. And The Rock, the final boss, means there ain't nothing that will ever compare to The Rock going out there as the final boss and his music hitting. Seeing those three in the middle of that ring. You got Jimmy, you got Roman, and you got Cody. Rock didn't have to say a thing. Tonight, we're going to have a good time. Tonight, Rock the final boss is feeling good. And at the end of the day, you can hate a lot of things, and The Rock understands. Because The Rock hates a lot of things too. The final boss hates a lot of things. You can hate a lot of things in your life, but the one thing that you will never hate is the final boss. The Rock doesn't like limousines. He doesn't like limousine drivers. The Rock drives himself everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, what you just felt was the final boss. There ain't nothing like it, and there will never ever be anything like it again. If you smell what The Rock.
Noting Eric Bischoff's thoughts on AEW's new television deal with Warner Bros. Discovery, Ringside News wrote that Eric Bischoff weighed in on AEW's recent multi-year TV deal with Warner Bros. Discovery, offering a mix of congratulations and caution on the latest episode of 83 Weeks. Bischoff, a longtime figure in professional wrestling, expressed his skepticism about the future of AEW's programming under this new agreement, despite acknowledging the significance of the deal for Tony Khan and the company. Reflecting on his initial reaction to the deal, Bischoff stated, "I not only predicted that they would get a deal with Warner Bros. Discovery, I suggested many times that they probably would. I've also said that it won't make any difference because the show's going to be what the show is. The deterioration of the audience is going to be what the deterioration has been." Bischoff referenced recent data from WrestleNomics' Brandon Thurston, which which highlighted the decline in AEW's audience and ticket sales. Despite the new deal, Bischoff believes that if Tony Khan doesn't adjust his approach, the problems AEW has faced in recent months will persist. It's an opportunity. The important part now is, what does Tony do with it? Does he continue the way he has been and continue to hemorrhage the audience and ticket sales? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, Bischoff said. Bischoff was quick to acknowledge that securing the deal was a victory for Tony Khan and AEW, adding, "I'm happy for Tony, number one. It's got to be a big load off his back. I'm glad after 7 months of teasing this, I'm glad it finally happened. And now let's see what they do with it." When asked what he would do next if he were in Tony Khan's shoes, Bischoff stressed the importance of boosting AEW's audience numbers, emphasizing that it's essential for the company's future success. There's no more big stars to sign. There's no more hype. There's no more game changer free agents that they're going to be able to bring into the equation that are really going to matter, because none of the previous ones have either, he remarked. Bischoff didn't hold back when discussing AEW's recent signings, singling out Mercedes Moné as a disappointment. "I mean, I think Mercedes has got to be one of the biggest financial miscalculations in terms of talent deals in the history of pro wrestling. The numbers have crashed since she showed up. Her stock has gone so far down," Bischoff said. At WWE Bad Blood last night, the women's title match between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan did not go according to plan, as Ringside News noted that. During the Women's World Championship match at Bad Blood, Dominic Mysterio was suspended in a shark cage at ringside while Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan fought inside the ring. Near the end of the match, Dominic Mysterio managed to pick the lock and open the cage door. However, he was too scared to leave because of his fear of heights. Ripley took advantage of this and pulled Liv outside the ring to hurt her right in front of Dominic. After a while, Dominic couldn't handle it anymore and tried to escape, but he forgot that his leg was chained to the cage, leaving him hanging in the air. Seeing this, Rhea Ripley grabbed a kendo stick to punish Dominic Mysterio. All of a sudden, Raquel Rodriguez returned and attacked Rhea from behind. Rodriguez then tossed Rhea back into the ring. After a brief pause, the bell rang to signal the end of the match. Unsure of what to do next, Raquel put Liv on top of Rhea for the pin, but then lifted Liv back up in what was a very awkward finish to the match, and fans called out WWE for the same on social media. According to Fightful Select, the initial plan for the match was for Liv Morgan to win with assistance from the returning Raquel Rodriguez. However, everything fell apart when the referee called for the bell prematurely. The report stated that it was understood that the original ending involved Morgan winning with Rodriguez's help, but the referee felt he had to call a disqualification because he witnessed everything that happened. It was implied that the original finish to Rhea versus Liv was Liv winning with Raquel's help. However, the referee couldn't justify not doing a DQ finish as he saw everything unfold. It remains to be seen whether WWE will address the botched finish to the match, as it is quite clear things simply didn't go according to plan, and it ultimately marred the quality of the bout. As many are wondering if Raw will continue to be a 3-hour show when it moves from the USA Network to Netflix, or if it could potentially go back to being a 2-hour program, Triple H addressed this during the post-show press conference for Bad Blood. "When I find that out, I will let you know. Raw goes down to 2 hours. What does that do for us? Hour-less show. We found ourselves in this wild spot. If you had asked me a few years ago, 3 hours was just the difference between 2 and 3 is like night and day. I can't even express to you how much different that is. Now we are at this place where we are doing 3-hour shows and it will drop to 2. It's a different way of looking at it that's just different. It's a little bit of stress. It's less, but I think sometimes less is more. I think that's going to be a really good thing. When we get to Netflix, we are still working through through all of that. I think the truth is you guys will have to watch and see. I will wait and see, but we will deal with it. The truth is, no matter what the length of time is, it's about putting out the best product we can, telling the best possible stories we can. At the end of the day, this is what it's all about, telling stories. Sometimes in our business, we get so caught up in our 3-hour, 1 hour. The movie is the movie. When the movie is over, it was either good or it was not good, or too long or too short, whatever it is. But we are just making a movie every week, twice a week, actually 3 times a week, with more to come. We approach it in that manner. Let's write the best stories and then figure out how to jam it into whatever time slot we have available. Following WWE's Bad Blood event, Cody Rhodes would say this to fans in attendance.
I think you know what I'm going to ask you. Did you guys have a good time tonight? And then, did you have a good time tonight? I'm half concerned that if I walk to the back, I might get beat up. So I'm just going to hang out with you guys for a second, okay? You heard the statistics about how many people. You heard that we set an arena record, a business record for WWE. We did that here. We did that in Atlanta. I don't know anything. I'm not in management or anything like that, but I would wager that after a night like tonight, perhaps, somehow, something even bigger than Bad Blood comes to Atlanta. I grew up coming to this place when it was the Omni. I crossed the train tracks, I'd come backstage. You will never know how much it means to me. That a boy from the South, a Crockett kid, a WCW kid, gets to hold the North Star of the business, the biggest prize in our game, the WWE Championship. And I would make this as simple as possible. I appreciate y'all so much. I love you so much. Take care of one another. God bless you guys. Atlanta, my home. Have a great night. Thank you very much. Thank you.
When it comes to the latest on Kota Ibushi, who has been out of action from pro wrestling, Ringside News wrote that Kota Ibushi, the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion and current AEW and NJPW star, continues to face a string of bad luck as injuries persist into the latter part of 2024. The Golden Star was slated to make his return to Japan for DDT Pro Wrestling, but is now pulled out of his scheduled appearances. DDT Pro Wrestling announced Ibushi's withdrawal from 2 key events on October 17th and the 20th, both at Korakuen Hall in Tokyo. No specific reason was provided for Ibushi's exit, though his recent history of injuries likely plays a factor. The company apologized to fans, offering refunds to those who had purchased tickets specifically to see Ibushi compete. Ibushi was scheduled to appear at the Uno event on October 17th and the Korakuen Hall event on the 20th, but will be absent from these 2 events. We would like to offer Our deepest apologies to everyone who was looking forward to Ibushi's matches. We will provide refunds to customers who wish to do so, DDT said in a statement. Ibushi's career has been marred by injury setbacks in recent years, with leg injuries particularly hampering his return to full-time competition. Recently, Ibushi was seen training with his longtime friend and tag team partner Kenny Omega, reigniting speculation about their eventual return to AEW. Both members of the Golden Lovers have been on extended absences from the promotion, Omega recovering from diverticulitis and Ibushi dealing with his own injury issues. Although cryptic about their timeline, the duo expressed their intent to return to AEW soon, following Ibushi's brief debut with the company in July. Ibushi's struggles have been well documented this year, including a difficult and concerning performance against wrestling legend Marufuji late last year, which resulted in Ibushi being hospitalized. The ongoing injuries have cast doubt on when fans will see the beloved star back in action at full capacity. Fans of Ibushi remain hopeful for his promised full return alongside Omega, but with his withdrawal from DDT Pro events, questions linger about when the Golden Star will be able to make his triumphant comeback to the ring. During Bad Blood, World Heavyweight Champion Gunther would have a confrontation with Goldberg, as it appears the two could be set for a match down the line. Dave Meltzer said this about it on Wrestling Observer Radio. Why would they do the angle if they aren't going to do the match? Why would you do a big thing like that and not do the match? I certainly thought they were going to do it. We will know in a couple of days. Maybe they will do it at Mania. You know what I mean? They are bringing everyone else back. They could also say they don't need it at Mania and they could do it at Royal Rumble or something. They could do it anytime. It's actually a Saudi match, but Gunther is facing Cody unless Sammy wins. Maybe Sammy wins with Goldberg's help. Gunther will Goldberg in Saudi? I don't know. It sure felt like they were doing a match at some point. Asked about Goldberg returning to the ring, Triple H noted at the post-show press conference, "Never say never. Atlanta loves Bill Goldberg, and that's why he was here tonight with his wife and his son. Always going to get a huge reaction enjoying the show. Things get said. I can tell you when Bill came back, he was not too happy with Gunther. We'll see. The further you go, time catches up with all of us, right? The further you go, those talks get further and further away from reality. I saw Bill earlier in the day and it was great. I saw Bill later in the day and there was a different look on his face with a spark in his eye. I would say never say never." Following WWE's Bad Blood event, Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens could be seen having an altercation in this video.
He's about to stun him. Wouldn't that be great? What's going on here? Come on, I put the belt down. It's gonna stun him. Oh my God! What? No, Kevin! Stop that!
This was also said regarding the scuffle, as Ringside News wrote that, according to PW Insider, WWE planned this angle between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes to take place in front of fans gathered outside Rhodes' tour bus. The goal was to create a moment that would go viral on social media, as fans were likely to record and share the incident online, which is exactly what happened. Asked about the perceived lack of diversity on the WWE main roster, specifically the absence of black men at premium live events, Triple H said this at the post-show press conference for Bad Blood. I don't see the difference in anybody. I don't see the color. I don't see the nationality. I don't see any of it. I just see talent. I don't see the difference between men and women. I see talent. We tell stories with those talent, how they can handle those stories and how they can represent those stories and how we can bring those stories forward. I don't keep track of any of that. I do what's relevant and what is best and what is being delivered the best. That's what goes. No different than the men and women who main events. Whatever the biggest stories are, that's where we go. Many online were not pleased with this answer as they wrote on X, Triple H never say don't see color. We are black men and women before anything, and that comes off as dismissive and disrespectful. You stop at traffic lights, so you most definitely see color. Triple H just said he don't see color. Ass answer. Somebody please tell Triple H that I don't see color is a terrible answer. Representation, color blindness doesn't stop racism. It just covers it up. If you're head of creative and don't know why that answer sucked, black wrestlers and fans can't trust you. I'm usually one to give Triple H the benefit of the doubt, but this is a phrase white people need to remove. To say you don't see color is to invalidate everything black people deal with because of their color. Please learn better. Triple H creates all his factions based on race, but he says he doesn't see color. What a liar. Triple H went for the same cliched route, I don't see color. It's a coded response for this. Triple H does see color and race, which is why he is purposely going out of his way not to book black wrestlers for WWE pay-per-view events and not giving black wrestlers strong bookings or storylines. So Triple H answers the question of black representation by saying the classic I don't see color line. Big sigh. We were rooting for you. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.